everyone. Yes, it's Stiggy at the Guitar Loft. Well, we've got a rather peculiar specimen here. This is a Franconia. It is probably say a mid-70s Japanese guitar. I inherited this unfortunately from a family friend who passed away recently, and it's just a bit shabby. It sounds gorgeous. It used to play really well. Unfortunately, it's got a couple of squeakers now. Like it's, you know, it truly just is around kind of the 4th and the 5th fret kind of area. It's just not great. So what we're going to do, we're just going to give it a bit of a quick spruce up. Now, some of you that have seen some of my videos before, you know that I don't normally like buying proper luthier tools and things like that, so you might think, my god, Stig's gone mental. But I haven't, and I haven't gone crazy on price either. These are feeler gauges. These are actually automotive, so that's one thing, and even if you did want to buy some of them, they're incredibly useful just for checking the distance between string and fret. Very accurate, and they cost pence. You know, you might even have some in your toolbox, but they're pence. The only things that are slightly more expensive, and I say slightly more expensive, but this came from China, and this was about £4. These were pence yet again, and obviously the rest of it is just standard tools. Dunlop 65, which everyone should have, obviously for rosewood necks only, not maple necks, rosewood necks only. But that'll give this a nice little clean anyway, and obviously your string winder and things like that. So from what I can see here, there's just no relief on this neck whatsoever. I mean, it's difficult to tell, but it's just so straight. There's no tilt whatsoever. There's no back angle. There's nothing. There's no forward. Nothing. So what I think we need to do on this one is, I think we just need to loosen the truss rod slightly, and then when we put this back into concert pitch again, what it'll do is the string tension will bring the neck slightly forward, and then it'll give a little bit more space between the fretted notes on around this area here. So top of the truss rod on this one, just like most, is at the top of the neck. I've already taken the inspection panel off, so what we're going to do now is I'm just going to loosen this. It's not a wing nut, you don't need to spin it, okay? Just a couple of turns, tune it back up to concert pitch, try it and go from there. You don't need to be scared of a truss rod. At the end of the day, it's not going to do any major damage as long as you take it slow. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so it was a little bit stiff on that one there, so sorry about the cut there. But so we've loosened the truss rod by, I'd say, 2 and a bit turns, 2.5. And what we need to do now is we need to put it back into concert pitch just to check it's about backwards. So now let's see that dreaded space. Not bad. Too bad. Okay, so that's all right. Let's see what the magic gauge says. Wrong way around, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of relief. Not a lot, but just enough. But what that's doing now is it's just freeing those strings, giving them chance to just move slightly, you know, so we're not catching anymore. So that's good. Okay, so now I think we'll restring this thing for the first time in about 6 years, 7 years. What do you think? Right, so let's loosen. pick those up later on, shall we? Okay. So, let's take that one out. I like to go in from the bottom because it kind of avoids snapping them like that, which we'll have to replace shortly. But these can get a bit brittle. You know, the older ones, like the bone ones, they don't get as brittle these days, but need this. Need these to push something up. These are stuck in good and proper. You can tell it's been a while. Alright. You can use some soft pliers or you can use a prying tool. It's not a problem. Let's take those out. Put those back over here. Those are dead. Dead. So, let's have a quick look, shall we? Let's take this inspection panel off so we can give it a nice clean. See, there's quite a lot of fret wear on this guitar, but nothing that's going to cause major problems with playability. Now, like I said, I've played this guitar quite a lot and it's lovely. It's absolutely beautiful, and it means a lot to me and a lot to my father. So we are going to crack on and give it a clean. Now, what I'll do first, give this fretboard a bit of a wipe over. I'm dreading to see what's coming out of this. Now, this Dunlop 65 lemon oil is absolutely fantastic. I know we've done a previous video in what else that we can use, but this stuff brings off all sorts. And this guitar has not been played or cleaned properly for a long time. So let's get some of that in there, shall we? Let's not be too shy with it. Best to spray it on a cloth though, not directly onto your fretboard, I found. Let's have a look. Get it right in there. Now you can use a microfiber for this if you really want. It's not a problem. Use any type of cloth. I've just grabbed whatever most people are going to have. Got lots of these cloths. We're currently in that dreaded lockdown stage, COVID-19, so I hope you guys are all safe. But, you know, awful. Absolutely terrible. Nice and all. Right. Stick it on the bridge as well, eh? The bridge is filthy too. Might as well use what's on here. Don't do any onto the bridge. So that's from true rosewood. See, this has had a repair before. You see, it's had an adjustable bridge taken out and it's had a normal blade bridge put in. It's not electrified, this guitar, but might do that as a project at some point. But look at the state, absolutely rank. Right, so we'll just leave that on there for a moment. Stick that over there. Get the dreaded earbuds out. Get right in there. Right in next to these frets. Start at the bottom, Steve. Start at the bottom. Work my way up. Making sure it gets a nice clean. And see what's coming out of that. Terrible. Awful. Good to have a support on the neck as well. Means it's not banging around at the top. Let's see that we've got a nice new piece of leatherette. People used to complain about the multiple colours that I used to use. This time it's just brown. So, quite a lot now. Just talk amongst yourselves, guys, and concentrate. Yeah, so horrible stuff, absolutely horrible. I don't know who's been in there. Right, now give this a quick rub over. So my brother once used to say there's polishers and there's players, but I'm down with that. I don't have to have a spotless guitar, but this had been left for so long. It's horrendous. But you can see that fretboard already, mother of pearl's coming up beautifully. Okay, so that's that. Now, what we're going to do, I'm just going to give this just a quick rub over with a stone. Now this is a soft stone. Some people do this, some people don't. There's a multiple selection of these. Now, if you haven't got these, like I said, they're pence off eBay, absolutely pence. And if you spend half your time cleaning your fretboards and things like that, and cleaning and polishing your frets, then for a couple of quid you can buy them. If you haven't and you want to stick with the old-fashioned way, then you can just tape them up. Just get some masking tape and you can tape up your frets. It takes you 10 minutes, but for these, I just for ease these days, so much easier. And I'm not after doing a full resto on this. All I want to do is just clean a little bit. That's all I want to do. Try and get some of the grime off there, and then I'll go back over with the cloth again. You can use emery board, you can use emery paper, you can use wet and dry. I just choose to use a stone because a little bit more control over it. It takes the embedded rubbish out of there. And just work your way up slowly. Just work your way up. Plus what this does do, any imperfections or any divots in your frets will instantly become apparent. Just try to give it a quick uniform rub. Bloody hell, says he drops it. There we go. That's that. Come back in with this, with the oil. We haven't taken anything off, just taken any grime off, flattened anything off. Lovely, absolutely lovely. So it's up to you how long you leave the lemon oil on for. I just like to rub it in, make sure it's there. sure it's in nice and deep. Take this tuner off. A good clean. So yeah, we all know how difficult it is getting the dust out the top of your guitar when your strings are on, so take the opportunity to do it now. I am using the back of the cloth, by the way, not the side that's got the oil on. Do that dust. Right, that's that. Like I said, she's been beat up a little bit, but she's got plenty more life in her yet. Okay, alrighty. So, these became quite brittle, so we snapped one. So I have to get a new one. Now, question is, authenticity, do we go with those and one white one? No, let's stay honest to the guitar, shall we? This guitar's on at the end of the day. This guitar's on a journey, isn't it? It's got to show its history. So we'll have those. Right, you don't need to stick around for me stringing this guitar. So I will string this and then I will get back to you. Just give it a basic tune up. Now before I do that, what I like to do is these. Don't cut them all away because your string's still got to slip from place to place. So just take them to about 1 inch for now. Just stops you stabbing yourself more than anything. Nothing worse than having these things flailing about. So take them to about 1 inch first, so you've got it the way that you want it. There we go. Alright, so the important thing about fresh strings is they need to stretch. Okay, so we've got it in relative tune now, but especially with an acoustic, but any guitar for that matter, like I said, these need to stretch. So you can pre-stretch your strings. Now bearing in mind that these are going to shift, so just bear these in mind, because your string's got to pull through up to that point. And depending on how worn the hole is, it could be a nightmare. Right, so what I like to do is, I like to just stick that there, stick your thumb up and just pull as much as you can. Alright, that. Now you've just tuned this up before, so watch. Didn't work that, did it? Okay, pre-stretched, and then just work your way along. Stick your finger and your thumb, push, make sure you put your finger there. If it's an acoustic, give it a damn good stretch. So what we'll do, tune up. You might need to do this 2 or 3 times, depending on your room temperature, depending on the ambient temperature. It you know, owns a piece of string. So tune it up, stretch them again, tune them up, stretch them again. Each time that you do them, what you'll find is that it'll go less and less out of tune. And all you're actually doing is just precautionary measure, really. Well, that's it. She's in. She's lovely. And more importantly, not a squeak, not a bang, nothing. So I know a lot of people might say, oh, you know, it's going to go back out again. Well, it will a little bit. Yes, it will. But she was so bad, I did it with the old strings first. And to be fair, if there was going to be any damage, then it doesn't make much difference, does it? So she's good to go now, I think. The neck will move. The best thing to do with something like this is to leave it in a stable environment for a while. maybe the living room or something along those lines. But pick it up, tune it regularly for over the next 24 hours, 48 hours, something like that, then come back to it. You may need to adjust the truss rod and just tweak a little bit, but I think this one's going to be alright, don't you? So the final job really is chop these off. I like to take them off just down to about 1/4 of an inch, or about just over a centimetre. Like I said, just enough for slippage. Rid of those. Don't leave those on your workbench, otherwise you might end up scratching your paint. Done that before. Not the best. And then I can hopefully put this back on. Okay. Thank the Lord for magnetic screwdrivers. That's that one. Where's my little thing gone? There it is. Get you in. There she is. That's one. Don't over tighten those either. The amount of times that you crack them, especially on something this old. Like I said, there's no exact date on this guitar, it's difficult to do, but from the design of it and from how beat up it is and the fact that it's made in Japan, I'm suggesting it's probably a 70s guitar. It's had a lot of changes, it's had Grover tuners put on it at some point, so it tunes a lot better than it did, and like I said, the adjustable bridge has come off it, but that's about the only upgrades. Now we might electrify it at some point, but that just depends on what the family want to do with it. But she's lovely. She's absolutely lovely. So we'll monitor this over the next 24 to 48 hours and then adjust as necessary. But she's playable now, I would say. Sounds beautiful to me. Like I said, truss rod adjustments. It's not a wick. Don't treat it as a wing nut, but don't be scared of it either. You know, there's no point. Give it a go. There's not much that you can do. Most of the time, if it's too straight, loosen it off a little bit, and then the string tension will bring it back in, and then give it the actual space that it needs. If it's got too much back bow, right, then tighten it up a little bit, increments at a time, put it back into concert pitch, and go from there. Like I said, don't spin it round, otherwise you will do damage, but a 1/4 turn at a time, you're not going to do much. Give it a go. Okay, see you on the next video.